Today we're gathering around the campfire with Beth, a QHS member whose life is as exciting and grounding as a hike through the mountains. But what trails did she tread to reach these heights? Let's trek into the wilderness and discover the adventures that led Beth to where she is today.
Hello. Thank you very much for everyone's hard work here at Quantum Healing Systems. My name is Beth. I am located in the United States. Us baby boomers who have found our way to this trial study, I like to consider us as really survivors of quite an onslaught, not only around the world, but especially here in the United States. We've lost friends, we've lost family, we've lost schoolmates over the past several decades, as Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s speech mentioned a few weeks ago as he suspended his campaign for the United States presidential election. We have worked very, very, very hard to survive. And I send much honor out to those of you who are still here and have made it through. So I would like to just mention that one thing. I do hope that whatever I present here is of use to someone. I am usually a very private person, and so to do something like this is pretty much out of the ordinary. So just to begin, it said, the question is, where did your ancestors come from? I'm European, mostly English, possibly Dutch, and a little bit of Ukrainian. Our family heritage is very basic American, Americana during the 1950s and 60s. Family that didn't quite serve in World War II because they were just a little too young and they got on the last edge of it. Ethnic background is what you see. What you see is what you get around here. So I grew up in the right along the continental divide of the United States, there in the Rocky Mountains. Had a pretty good childhood. There's always dysfunction in every family, but we did pretty good. Personally, I like to describe myself as an anal neurotic with a sunny disposition. So I'm kind of an odd person. And now that I've been able to accept that about myself now that I'm well into my 60s, life is much easier. Injuries and illnesses, not very many injuries. Biggest thing that I went through as a child was a sinus operation. There was a real bad infection. I was about 7 or 8 years old. I was in a hospital and it was a week, and my biggest memory, of course, was Mom driving a whole hour every day to come and visit me. She was pretty awesome. My young adulthood was successful, probably not in the way that you would think. I was very, very blessed and always had what I needed, always had income, and was resourceful enough to be able to pay the bills and the taxes through anything from piano lessons to office work to whatever needed to be done. I am still working at this point, very happily with the hospitality industry, and I get to work from home. Now, the reason that I joined Quantum Healing Systems was basically because it was obvious that new technologies were greatly needed. I had heard about the frequency technologies through many different sources, everything from the Tesla to the Rife to, of course, this thing in the back here, which is an infrared sauna, and had found some great relief in many of those areas. It was Alex Collier that I was following who suggested that we get into this private membership organization, and fortunately, the membership fees got to something that I could afford. Life's pretty odd right here in 2024. here in the United States. And I think we've, again, like I mentioned before, most of us baby boomers are survivors. As far as the biggest illness that I was very fortunate to overcome was a cancer diagnosis about 8 years ago. And fortunately, there were a couple of energy healers that were working with me, and either I didn't have cancer or they were very successful, because when I refused to do the standard treatments that they offered, the alternative places that I went to could not find any trace of cancer. So it was a very interesting thing, because it was just weeks after their diagnosis that those two places couldn't find anything. So again, it was some energy healers. And again, either they were pulling my leg and all of their stuff was mistaken, or it was really some pretty amazing things that happened. And I'm very, very fortunate to still be alive a few years longer than the currently traditional medical establishment predicted. It was colon cancer and a tumor on my kidney. So they took one of the kidneys. It's always been a joy to be able to make a difference in somebody's lives. I have been very fortunate to run across the work of Lynn McTaggart, who does the intentions, and I'm active in a couple of those groups, and it's very beautiful and very amazing, the difference that it makes in everyone's lives. As far as being interested in being a future quantum healing systems leader, I want to see where the world goes in the next several months and the next year, and I committed to being of service to my community here. I live in a little bitty town, and am probably more interested in making sure that I can take care of the people around me. If I can involve the quantum healing systems to, bless our communities, I would love to explore those possibilities. What I did to overcome, again, the cancer scare was the energy healers. One was a pendulum and Reiki healer, a good friend, another Beth here in town, and then another friend's friend who was a distance Reiki healer. And between those two, that's probably what made the big thing. But to maintain and to move forward beyond, a lot of fatigue and other things that everyone has. There are lots of things that we did. The biggest thing, the most effective thing, everybody's tried hundreds of things. The most effective things for my life was this. It is Bob Barefoot's marine grade coral calcium. And I have been taking this daily for probably 30 years, 25 to 30 years. And it made a huge difference with my ability to keep energetic and keep going. I spent, at least the last 15 years dealing with fatigue and the inability to keep going during the day. That made a huge, huge difference. Point of interest, this little device, which is the V6, I've had since May, and about mid-July here in 2024, I noticed that I didn't need as many of those. In fact, I haven't taken some for several days now, and that's been really amazing. One of the other very important things that made a difference was this man, Mr. Andrew William, and his protocol for using whole plant foods to address your issues, and that has made a huge difference as well. It's hard to stick to it because, gosh dang it, all those potato chips are really tempting. So that's been very important. Another one was the Spooky 2 Rife that I invested in. This is a really incredible community in itself that has made its list of 60,000 different frequencies available to the entire world for free. That information they have just made available to anybody who wants to use it and to which is pretty amazing. It's has a really good detox program, and that has been very effective. That I wish to mention, excuse me, is this guy. All right. Clint Ober. His idea of making sure that we're grounded. I did that about 2 years ago and made sure that I had a setup to where I was connected directly to Mother Earth every night when I was asleep, and have slept very, very well every night, 90% of the time. I do have some times when I can't, go to sleep, as we all do, but that has made a huge difference. So I pursued holistic and rather than what we consider now as traditional medical treatments, and didn't develop any special skills except for maybe patience and understanding that, what happens when we go the more natural route. So I have, it says optional here, list everything that we're going through and that we would like to see changed with the V9 study, and I'll go through a little bit of that. I would love to, get younger looking hair. That would be nice. As far as there's some skin issues, it's probably from radiation, things like that, because I do a lot of work on the computer, very tech-based. So that would be very nice to have some of the skin issues cleared up. I have a very large scar from the operation to remove my kidney and a portion of my colon. That would be nice to have at least lightened up for whatever. I have some floater issues in my eyes, and that would be nice to resolve. Probably some polyps in the nose, again, from the radiation, from all the tech use that I have. Better teeth, good grief. I'm a baby boomer. There's stuff that needs to be fixed. The fatigue, this little device has probably worked and made. That would be, it would be nice to know that that was done and solid. There's a chance that I am dealing with some fatty liver issues, and that would be nice to be resolved. I am working on that as far as through diet is concerned, and hopefully this little device. Other than that, I'm doing very, very well. And that's a bit of where I am. I believe we're on a roll upswing, but like any healing crisis, we're going to be going through some interesting stuff. But again, I believe that we are moving into an incredible future, thanks to organizations like Quantum Healing Systems. And again, I would like to thank everybody involved, all the volunteers, the admin, and all the members that are brave enough to even try this, to step in and do what we can. So with that, I thank you very much. And again, I hope that this is of use to anyone. Bye-bye now.
Join us on the Prequel, where every story matters and every voice is heard. Because here at QHS, we're all about healing, learning, and growing together.